Hey guys, welcome to this video. I'm gonna see what comes through. I just did a light language video, light language intoning for animals. So I invite you to go watch that. I'm kind of in a high from that now. It was I'm very grateful right now for all of the beings that are connected with the animals. So thank you for that request. And in the comments, I kind of ended it quickly. I apologize, but I had somebody knocking at the door, so I just kind of ended it. Not like the animals need a big explanation as to what it was. So I want to share that animals are, I'm going to go into a little bit more animal and rights and things like that. So I did a video, so let me just back up and say thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome if you haven't seen these videos before. Welcome back if you have. Thank you so much for the emails, the comments, the questions. You know, all the videos that I do are, I'm just doing them because I was guided to do them, and it's a plethora of light language for you guys just to tap into to see what resonates with you. And my intention is to raise the frequency with Mother Earth, with one another. And so that's what these videos are all about. So I've been focusing primarily on light language because that is what I've been guided and had time really to focus on. The Keep It Simple Star Seeds will be coming back at some point, as well as some other specific, we'll say, sorry, I'm going into light language right now. Some specific themes, we'll say, with the light language. For example, the animal activation. So the animal one was toning primarily, which did surprise me a bit, but didn't at the same time. So it's really just 5 minutes or not even of toning. So you can, I'm going to go into see what comes through right now just because I can feel some messages that want to come through. So I invite you to close your eyes and set your intention to receive whatever it is most needed in this now moment, of course. These messages are for the collective. These energies that are shared in the sharing of the messages also hold a frequency and a healing vibration, whether it's in English, light language, or song is what I'm hearing. It's still a frequency. And so I invite you to breathe and just kind of get in with your body, get in touch with your body, just really integrate these energies and invite the breath to come into the lungs, the belly, the chest, and then breathe out. What I do want to share also is this is for the collective, so you'll feel it possibly too, as many of you have seen or felt in the comments and in the sharing of these videos. But if you have something specific you'd like to work on, if you want a session, just email me. And that is very similar to what we're doing here, but it'll be more streamlined for what your needs are as an individual part of the whole collective. So without further ado, I set my intention also for this to be for in the highest levels of love, light, and benevolence for all. And as your field expands, it sets out to connect with others' fields who are expanding. For we are all one in this field. However, we are all creating beautiful weavings of light and interconnectivity with one another. And as we expand out these layers of interconnectivity, we allow ourselves to jump timelines, if you will, to base jump is what I'm hearing. However, like a base jumper rather than falling or free falling or free flying. As ashtuku akuno at ostitina kukuno at it isties ashtuku ostitina at apostis istinit ostit ist at iana kukua. Wa do etia kuno uruea kuno kuno idea the na kuno it ostia kukunoa. The was oil ko do na do nakia uro uno etinia kuno to etidia kuno kwa. Do it in akukuno at is ustit ist akastis est anakokud ustit inat it ekod ustit it inakokua it istikini ak anakokoa. There will be echoes of the memory of the mind that will wish to pull you back into it. Ooh, I'm having reference to the movie. So this could go so many directions. I'm trying to keep it into, I'm seeing geometries. So it's so I'm having references to spiders and weaving the web, and then the spiders that weave their web and then jump. I've made reference to this to piezoelectricity, where they jump and then they land in, and because of the electrical energy in the air, it carries them farther. So you're going to have these fields that wish to pull you back in reference to it. So it, remember at the end of it, if you haven't seen it, I don't recommend that you do. Sorry, Stephen King, unless these things don't bother you. But in the movie, at the end of it, there's a spider, a giant spider. And it was funny because when I watched it as a kid, I was like, that's it? It's a giant spider that this scary clown is really a part of. But it's so meaningful on many layers. So there's this idea that there's this clown that represents fear. It represents a being of dark energy that's painted to look a certain way. And okay, I've had lots of things going on here, so I'm just trying to kind of ask for a little bit more clarity because I could go to 10 different directions right now. So while I'm doing this, you guys just kind of focus on your breathing, if you will. So as this energy weaves and spreads and breathes, so to speak, there is a suction, so to speak, and that pull back is what will wish to entangle with you to pull you back into a lower layer, so to speak. But as you jump and base jump and climb out of this energy and anchor your web, so just picture all of us as spiders. And we're going out and spider is in Native American teachings the creator of the world, of the universe. And if you think about it, a spider is the vibrant 8, which is it's got 8 legs, it's got eyes all over it, and it's the shape of infinity. And its web is spun from itself, which is a beautiful thing. So if you think about it, we are spiders, we are infinite beings weaving our web of creation in all that we do. And so I see this like sparkle of webs all around. And so some of these older energies that are bigger spiders, that's seemingly bigger, that are scary energies, wish to bring us back into their web so that they can feed off of our energies. However, that is no longer compatible with what is being lit up. And this is all play on words. Breathing in and out, guys, in these moments of silence. I'm just kind of clearing my ears. And as you listen with your new ears, new harmonics will play for you. They will play beautiful songs of light. And as these beautiful songs of light are constructed, orchestrated in the universe, in the orchestratosphere, in the song of the whale, orca whale, in the oracle, I'm also having reference to a clavicle, so Tapping up here is good right now to do a little higher heart activations as well. Many plays on words to reveal many aspects of how the web is woven. So the web is woven through intricacies and the matrices of the expression of the divine spider, the divine feminine. I'm having reference to the spider eating her mate, and that in a sense brings it into oneness. So it's like this twin flame. I'm having reference also to the twin flame reunion, to where it's not like the spider, and that seems for some people might go, ew, the spider eating its mate. See it on another level. See it as the two energies combining and becoming a one with the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and producing a brand new creation of beauty and new formation. And so it's like now the web design will be even better, with stronger roots and foundations. And this is obviously metaphorical, you guys, or and as the spindles are projected out from us, so you guys think of Spider-Man and the spider's webs shoot out of his hand. Think of that being our hearts being that conductor of energy. So I'm seeing all of these cords around us, and I'm having a lot of reference lately to heartstrings. Playing the heartstrings, right? We're playing our instrument, and as we come into this higher space of this divine feminine expression, open throat, open heart, connected to source, integrating the divine masculine, not fighting it, but combining it, combining forces and integrating those energies, it allows us to expand out our field. And I see from what they're showing me, picture, if you guys know what a Merkaba is, around you, a light body, a field of energy, but it's not the Merkaba. It's just an example of geometry that's all around us that shoots out from these, that are created from, let's call it string theory, right? Strings of the heart. And it goes out and it branches and connects into this field that's all around us. And many of us have not been able to use that because it's been cut off. And that is regrown, and it is now opening and expanding out into a higher expansiveness. So we packed our chutes, and now we're jumping, and it's our web that's taking us with this electrical energy of Gaia, Mother Earth, that's taking us into another field, slingshotted into another space-time reality. So again, it's that reference, though. There are going to be, so I'm going two different directions here. One is it, the fear, the old energy. There's going to be a lot of stuff that tries to pull us back in, and I'll come to that, back to that. And then the actual twin flame reunion. Guys, I talk about twin flames not in reference to a partner or a relationship with another being. Well, in 3D. So I don't necessarily see a twin flame as just meaning you found your soulmate. Soulmate and twin flame are different. And from my perspective, and if it's not from your perspective, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, it's a way of describing it. So we may find that we have connected with our twin flame, and that twin flame is in the physical form because they came into this physical form, and now you have a relationship with one another. It doesn't matter what sex, it's just a relationship. And a combination of those energies. That is maybe perhaps one aspect of a twin flame. For myself and from my perspective, I see a twin flame as an oversoul or a higher self, so to speak, or in one form. And that is coming down, and we are embodying that energy and connecting with our twin flame, who is assisting us. And I'm being guided to share it's now a threefold flame, not just a twin flame. So think of the mother and child reunion. So you've got the divine masculine and the divine feminine birthing a third, which is this new energy, which is, we could go so many layers. Mother, father, child. We could say the Holy Spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. We could say, so the twin flame of the divine masculine, divine feminine is now birthing this trifold flame, which has been referenced to the heart. So that's expanding out. So that's many different plays on words, guys. But also what I'm seeing is the reference to the old energy. We have fear that's pulling us back in, or is going to try. And so people are like, okay, yes, here I go. I'm flying through the air. Picture those base jumpers that have the little, I call them flying squirrels. You know, they got this flying squirrel and then they're jumping. So I'm seeing that as us as a spider, and we're jumping with our web, and then all of a sudden we're being pulled back in and not quite able to land where we were, our trajectory was aiming at. But that's temporary. Sometimes we get pulled back in so that we can get, the message I had earlier today when I was doing stuff for the blog is that sometimes we'll get pulled back in, and then we'll go even farther because maybe there were a few things we still needed to digest, so to speak. Or maybe there was still a few things that we felt we needed to learn from. Although in theory, in string theory, we've already learned those things. But for whatever reason, we're back and we're watching a horror movie, even though we know that that horror movie will elicit a feeling of insecurity or fear. But we have been thriving off of it because we were desensitized before. Those flavors will change for many people. So part of horror movies and part of being afraid when we watch films is because we want to feel. We want to feel something, even if it's anger, even if it's fear, because for so long there's many beings out there that were just cut off from that third flame in the heart. They didn't even have any flame in the heart. They were all living from their lower chakras, which are no longer what's happening for a lot of people. And they were in a space of security and needing to feel and asserting will, control. But they weren't here. So now whoa, we've got this big old open heart, but wait a minute, we're getting sucked. So that's just different layers of what's going on in the energy fields. Do not spend money on these things. Do not pay into it or pay it forward if you do not wish to see more of those things. So again, I had reference to, I did a video a little ways back about buying products that are tested on animals. If you don't want animal testing, don't go and support animal testing, which is through those conglomerates. So if you don't want to see more of people being mistreated, don't watch a show that's about a woman being mistreated. Do not listen to music that encourages the mistreatment of women or demoralizes anything, anyone, any being, any race, any sex, any animal, whatever, even if it's making fun of it to a certain extent. Now, making fun of something that isn't, that changes the vibration around it. I mean, I'm in flow right now, guys. Making fun of something does change the vibration around it, and it does make it lighter. However, it still feeds into that system, so that will even have to shift in the future. For if we find humor, again, I'm having reference, this is a play on words, guys. Humor, I'm having reference to the bones in our body. And if we find humor in things that are at the expense of others' joy, of others' expansion, of others' freedom, we then take it on as our own. And we also, it's in our bones, essentially. It becomes part of us. I'm seeing it as us chewing on these old bones. And so if you chew on old bones, you know, we're not getting to the meat and the heart of the situation. And that will shift. It's one way, it's a tool that beings of a lower frequency can use in order to uplift and make light of the situation. But be aware that making light of the situation does not necessarily mean it's making love or heart of the situation. So light-hearted is one thing. Light and love light are different in just a slight variation in the vibration. So you might shine a light on something. That does not necessarily mean that you have shown love on that as well. All that we're doing is making it known or appearing, and we wish to go into a space of appealing, making it in a peeling back the layers so we can get to the onion. If you've ever cut an onion and seen a heart in the middle of the onion, that's what I'm saying. For if we are in support of those who are not supporting the new energies in the new earth, then what part of the matrix field or a part of the earth are we supporting then? So I'm hearing all in. It's either all one for one and all for one. All for one, one for all. Oh no, I can't. So I'm having reference to, I had a session with somebody yesterday, day before yesterday, and what I'd seen was, I talked about, I may have talked about it in a video as well, I don't remember, but it's a lot of people are dipping their feet in the water, and they're like, ooh, what's this feel like over here? This feels good, and they're stuck in this old yuckiness, and then they're dipping their foot in this beautiful clear pond and going, ooh, I really like the way that feels, but then they're afraid of what's at the bottom of the pond. And so they're kind of torn in between two worlds right now. So it's kind of this as of in this world but not of it. We're always oscillating in this, well, not always, but in where we're at in this reality, many of us are oscillating in and out of frequencies. And so we can feel like we're being stretched like a rubber band. And so as we put our foot in the water, people are still dabbling in that old energy. And this is not judgment, guys. This is, we all do it from time to time. But again, it's let's let go of that old energy and just jump. Just go for it. If you feel like you're in a space where that old energy isn't for you anymore, then just be done with it. So reference is to, for example, if you tap into your body and you know, I've talked about this before, that a horror movie does not make you feel good, and that means, do you feel love? Do you feel good? Do you feel joy? Do you feel happy? Or are you just looking for a reason to feel alive? It's better than not feeling alive. So anger is, again, maybe higher vibration than despair or complacency, depression. However, because it's a flow and it's at least a movement, we are recognizing that that isn't necessarily where we want to be anymore. So we're being invited to recognize that let's dip our toes in the water and actually just dive in. Dive into the water, swim around, and be in that vibration more frequently than in this old vibration. Stop going back and forth and wiffle waffling is what I'm hearing. So I'm seeing a waffle maker, guys, and I'm seeing there's like this grid. And so it's like we get sucked into this grid. So picture a waffle, like a sponge cake waffle. So let's pretend you're a little tiny ant and you're inside of a waffle. Guys, I'm in flow as I say this. And as an ant or spider or whatever it is, and then make it energetic. So it's like Tron. If you guys ever see that old movie Tron with Jeff Bridges, I think that's what it was called. And there's like these lines. So picture this grid, and it's a 4D or 5-dimensional grid, but it's a waffle. It's delicious. And you are having to get from one end of the waffle, the square, to the other square, so you have to walk around the edges of this hole. But oftentimes we get sucked back into that hole and to a lower sponge area of the waffle. Wow, if that isn't keeping it simple, pretty basic description, but it's easy to see that and visualize it. And so it's, again, let's not waffle. Let's just be in full dive in and not accept these old things for our reality anymore. Not say, well, maybe I still do want to go back and watch that horror movie. I keep going back to this because I see a lot of people, or I still really want to watch that crime show because it keeps me, what does it keep? So we're going to go into that. It keeps us in a space of trauma. Essentially, we're reliving other people's imagination, traumatic experiences to help us feel more alive, to make us feel like our life is better, to help us activate our mind. So we watch these mystery shows that involve murder, that involve deceit, that involve rape, that involve pillaging, that involve thievery, that involve, oh boy, I'm having a reference to, I made that mistake, so I'll come back to that. But they don't make us feel good. I have so many friends who watch, I won't name any names of television shows, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They're on, they're all about the drama of life, and really, that's old energy. Life doesn't have to be a drama. Dramedy is a little bit better than, you know, than crime shows. We don't have to be feeding into that energy. And I'm not knocking it if you guys are into crime shows. You guys, this is from my own perspective, and this is just what my guidance team is just sharing as ways to be aware of, am I dipping back into that old habit pattern? So, for example, I love you, Stephen King. I loved all of his books. I read them. I can't read them anymore. I can read some, maybe something along the lines of Green Mile, perhaps, but even that is dark. And for some people, that's okay. For others, that's not where we need to be focusing our attention. And having said that, I still find, though, that those do serve a purpose. So I do want to share that it's still, we can still see someone and go, wow, what an amazing writer. What an amazing imagination. What an amazing talent. And he, I'm using Stephen King as an example, was able to delve into the darker aspects. And at the end of the movie or books, he did shed light on the darkness. So from that aspect, I learned a lot from those particular books. I'm just saying that now at this particular stage of my life, that isn't something that I feel guided to pick up anymore. I might read his book on how to write, you know, or maybe about his life story and things like that, or I might read some of the more positive books that he's written. You see where I'm going with this. So I'm having reference right now to like old, so there are layers and levels. They're not all just black or white, okay? But you guys know what makes you feel good. And your senses are coming online right now. Your spidey senses are clicking in. And so you'll start to turn something on and you won't even need to watch it. It'll automatically feel down here. And you'll start to pay attention to that. So the more you dibble-dabble, wiffle-waffle, the longer it'll take for you to be where it is that you wish to be. However, the more you will perhaps learn from it, if that is what you feel like you need to learn more. Our abundance codes are kicking in, and as our abundance code kicks in, we see more that we wish to be abundant in: love, laughter, light, friendship. And we see more of what we choose not to be abundant in: hate, crime, victim. We may support those that feel like they are entrapped in those old behaviors. However, we are here to expand our consciousness. Expanding our consciousness means that we must make choices. And as we make choices to align ourselves, to activate ourselves, to choose freedom over being trapped in an old framework of mentality. Again, I've referenced an old computer system. Break free, because we are no longer vibrating in those old frequencies. We just think we are. And for those of you who feel as if every time they turn on the news, it is more showing them what needs to be fought for or what vibration is not in alignment, it is a gentle reminder that that news, is not new. It has already happened. It has been happening and will continue to happen the more people feed it. So again, reference to, I did a video I haven't posted about activation. If you are an activator, if you are an activist, if you are wishing to take action, taking action does not involve sitting in comatose state watching a television. Taking action is going out to assist others who may be in a lower frequency that need help. It is taking action and volunteering. It is taking action and being the change you wish to see in the world. It isn't about sitting around and talking about it. And essentially the activism is going to make a shift as well. For it is not just about bringing awareness and attention to something anymore. I see people standing in line at a picket line. It's actually about people going in and not supporting that system. So they might, for example, picket is old energy, and I'm not saying not to picket, I'm just saying using this as an example. That was one way. Now there's multidimensional ways of doing it. Now it means, okay, I'm setting out a cause. We will not buy from whatever brand it is that supports animal torture or animal control, especially the key on the animal testing. I will not buy. You can go on PETA and look up their sites and just say, I won't buy it. You could put a bumper sticker on your car. You know, I am responsible. I do not buy. You know, there are ways of going out and being an activist. You know, I have a friend who is a massage therapist, and she's completely against plastic. She's gotten rid of all the plastic from her house. She will not buy plastic, and thanks to her, I am on that path as well. Now, many of you might go, well, yeah, I know that, but let's really think about how much stuff out there is plastic. You know, so I do, you know, by not shopping with plastic bags, by buying as much as we can in glass, you know, recycling, picking up trash at the beach. That is activism. That is choosing to take action from compassion, not from necessarily anger, although anger may initiate the action. So these energies that are coming in will help shift the dynamics. And before, whereas people felt that they were helpless and the only options that they had were to go and stand and picket, it is going to change and shift to where there will be an uprising. It's like those, what were they called, where people did those not dance-offs. Gosh, you'll know the name of it. I can't think of it right now. I hear mashup, but they would just jump in and do a dance. It'll be movements like that. There'll be groups of people that stand up and say, I won't do that, but here is another option. It won't just be a fight, like, well, if they ask me to do that, I fight and I say no. Well, that's fine. What are you going to offer instead for a solution? So that's kind of what I'm sharing is the new way of things. The new waivers. So compassionate action will involve spreading the word, but saying it with love and taking action by creating products that are better for the environment, supporting products that are better for the environment, supporting animal activism by not supporting the people that are involved in it. Not necessarily being involved with big companies that support, I'm going on a tangent right now, but Monsanto, for example, or genetic modification, things that are not something that resonate with us. We then say no to that and then choose to go into a different field. If you're a scientist or an engineer saying this is not what I resonate with, I choose not to create around this, I choose to offer and bring this in. How about this? You can accomplish this and yield beautiful results by not harming this particular whatever. So this is a little toning and light language that's going to come through to assist us in clearing those old ways, to assist us in shaking off the old webs that are trying to pull us in, to assist us in anchoring into these newer energies, and to finding our truth in whatever it is, finding our activism from higher heart, love, light frequencies rather than anger. Although, again, I'm being guided to share that that isn't wrong. It is just a frequency that will essentially morph into a higher, once you move past the anger or through the anger, it then shifts into a higher potential of expansion. Because now we're saying, let's come from, all right, I'm angry, I've switched, now I'm going to offer this instead. So here we go. We're going to clear some of those fields. We're going to clear some of that anger based around some of the monstrosities that we're seeing from one perspective. And we're asking to fully align ourselves with these higher potentials and kind of open us up to our gifts that we're here to just offer, to assist in our fields. So this means nursing, this means doctor, this means food, this means parenting, this means teaching, this means working with the earth, gardening, this means healing, this means everything, law, this means community, this means our division between communities. This also means abuse and turning it into, this has been done. Let's find some safe environments for our children to grow up in. Let's create safe environments for animals to be. Let's educate others on how to create these safe environments. Let's find more people who wish to be foster parents to assist in rehabilitating children that need a good home. Or let's find new centers that provide this care for people who are working towards pulling themselves out of those waffle black holes that they were stuck in. Here we go. Uroya kuroya stostia kunoroinea kuroya ashtikiti ashtakidia kunoshti et ua. Dust estiki it in akuroesia kurio akunoya ta ki stiki nya kunoa. Du est akisti ant akuashti astiki stiet oeti asto akuno este akuno estia uistiki nina. Du astiki akuno esti uina roetina oaku eti stia kunua inea kuania. We speak to you about more of what you are. We activate within you these potentials that you seek to align with. And as we do this, you will further recognize these potentials. Du estestistiki ostististiki ashtakua breathing in and out. We sprinkle light codes in your fields. Little sparklers to stick in your webs. Lighting your web around you, your cocoon of light, if you will, with rainbow diamond frequencies. Do estesti aqua awasteki do oroea kuno estiest awasteki na kuro esto aqua istiano wana kies tastist aqua kuno at ist asti do aqua. Kuashti akuoet osta kuoneet iesti akua isti akua. Se shikia akua. Duro the earth collaborates with you. Kua tea kua aia kua noia stekia. So kua tustista akua ya na Dosta kisti esto kostesti asto kostista istia kostino koa. As you stretch out your spindle fibers from your heart center and connect them with the spindle fibers of Mother Earth, you then uplift the entire frequency, the entire grid, the entire pattern of what you surround yourself with, so that others may then link in with you. Shaking loose the patterns that no longer fit. Taking a deep breath in, guys. Lots of frequencies coming through. Just allow these to kind of marinate, if you will, breathing in and out. Urokustostiat at orok oastoroi et oro stistaroreanakia. Urstia uroast okuroet astia kur ok orostit istara et istara akur astistista uroea. So again, just breathing in and out, setting your intention to receive all the frequencies for your highest and greatest good and the highest levels of benevolence and love light. And so it is. Namaste. In love and light. Thank you.